All right, welcome back. So today we are on my son's TYPHON. Went ahead and pulling off the clay tires. Gonna replace them with some Proline Badlands, because that's what he wanted. This is the tuner we use to tune the ESC. We're also going to change out the receiver. Even though we changed out the radio to the DX5C, we're going to go ahead and put in a receiver that has AVC to try to get it more stable. And if you saw the last video, the RC is getting better and better, but it had some front end issues to where the arms were sticking, and it turned out to be the right arm, the right front arm, was having an issue. He had taken it apart, clean this up. This also, I think, has a bent axle on this side. Went ahead and cleaned up the pins, but it was still binding. It also had, which I don't know where the other screw is now. I don't know what he did with it, because he pulled it apart and I don't see the little screw here anywhere. Yeah, I only see one of everything but the little screw that belongs up here. So I don't know what happened to that. We'll have to find that. Oh, and look, that one is rounded out. Yep, that screw is rounded out. How did you round that out?
No way I did.
Well, here's the tool. Take it out. Take that out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's rounded out. And you're not supposed to be using impacts, because I took those away from you already, because you were rounding out screws. So how come that one's still in there? So you took out one and you stopped because you stripped one out?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You got to stop doing stuff like that. You're using the wrong tools, or you're over tightening it.
Linda, listen, Linda, listen.
Okay, what?
So now we got to try to figure out how to get out this screw. You had this off yesterday, and we straightened it, and you put it back on, and it was binding. So, which means you stripped this out, tightening it, right?
It wasn't that side though.
It wasn't this side? That was what?
That was binding.
I understand that, but you put this back on, which means you over tightened it. Did you use an impact?
No, you can't do.
Then how did you do that?
I probably tightened the hell out of it.
I mean, you shouldn't be. So this piece is all twisted up, as you can see. So we're going to put in a new one and see if the binding still persists.
Is that really a new one?
And this side isn't even in.
Nah, I took it out.
You couldn't have taken it out.
I took it out and then I tried to put it back in. I'm like, okay. And then you said you were gonna check it over.
Yeah, I'm here to look it over, but
Yeah,
realizing you're stripping things out.
Yep.
So I'm going to try to get all this binding stuff taken care of. Because something's going on up there. See, that arm is loose. This arm is a little tight. Not only that, but something's going on with the steering. That's probably why it's hard to control. One too many crashes. These normally have Loctite on them. Should be washers underneath this plate. Underneath these standoffs. I don't see them. And the bearings are frozen. These are bushings, I think. Instead of bearings. Bushing. Bushing. Now these things are locking up. This one's free and this one's tight. We got to figure out why. I don't see a washer there. There's the washer on the bottom. Let's take a look at the other side. Washer on the bottom. That came out. These are lock nuts. This washer looks crushed. Stuff's just all packed with dirt. This diff feels funny too. feels like a lot of play up and down. Yeah, the bearing's coming apart.
Up and down.
So we're gonna see if, I don't know if I have bearings for these, but we'll take a look, see if I have bearings for the servo saver. Servo saver seems tight, but we'll take a look at everything and then figure out, get it, definitely all the mud fixed up on it, and then probably pull apart the diff and find out what happened to this, if it just needs bearings or if it just needs shims or what's going on with this thing. Yeah, it definitely looks funny. Or is it all the way in? All right, let me pop the front cover off the diff so that we can push the pinion in and see if we can get this tighter and check the bearings on both sides. Definitely get it cleaned up before we open it up. We'll be right back. Never enough bearings. Three, four. This is the ARRMA buggy kit that I picked up. So we'll get those bearings put in. And this comes in from the bottom. Get those bushings replaced out. And I think you got to add a washer to the top from my remembrance. Well, we're going to check that real quick. Because you want to be able to tighten it down and it still swivel really good. Now, I don't think it's the bottom. It's literally this top. So this, a washer, and then this way. There we go. Nice and free now. Yep, perfect. So we'll do the same to this. Where's the nut? This nut has to be in the bottom of this. Then we're going to go washer, screw. All right, so I've got everything on but the sway bar. Arms are dropping normal, which is good. Now I just have to work on putting this pinion back in, which means I got to pull apart the diff cover. All right, so went ahead and got the differential put back together, got all that stuff working. Still got to put in the center drive shaft, but you can hear how smooth it is now. Perfect drop on both sides, and the steering is perfect now. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to set up our droop while we're on the bench like this. Now that it's bolted back down, before I hook up the sway bar. All these little things matter. There were so many issues with the steering, which also creates a rebound problem. All right, those are the same now. Now I can go ahead and get the sway bar put back on. That looks like he cracked that too. Yep, that one's cracked. So somehow last night my son decided he was going to put the sway bars back on and crack the one sway bar end link, over tightening it. Oh, now we're going to get the steering put back in. Oh. Then we're going to work on putting the shocks back. Alignment definitely needs to be done. Look at that. Full rebound now. It has better rebound than mine. Look at that. Rebound. Look at that rebound. The front's not all binding up now. So the rebound is perfect on the front. That's going to give them great steering. See how it's sticking?
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I was telling you to take off these arms and make sure that they drop.
Yeah.
Because right now it feels like something's binding in the front. Like there's an arm that's tight. Because that feels, I mean, this one's got play. This one feels too tight. I bet you.
That's the shim I put on, you could tell.
Yeah, and I think it's too tight and it's not allowing this to spring back down.
I mean, they have little clips like this and that you can take them off manually. You don't have to have
Yeah, but you can't even turn those now because when you screwed this down, it's tight. That's what I was telling you. Take the shock off, disconnect it, push the arm up, and the arm should drop.
Yeah.
And you said, no, it's fine. I said, no, you need to check that. And you said, no, it does. It returns fine. Look at that. And that's what it takes to go through an RC that's been bashed. There were so many problems with the steering, the arms, the pins, the plate, the bushings. All these little things add up to it binding, and you can't just throw parts at it. You literally have to, like I told him, disconnect the steering from the servo, disconnect your shocks, disconnect your sway bar, and inspect everything. And this thing was making a funny drive noise compared to how smooth mine sounded. This thing sounded horrible. But as you see, rebound is there now, and don't even need to re-change the shocks until we get it out or run it again. But we're gonna go ahead, clean it up. We're gonna pull the center diff again, get the center drive shaft into it, and front diff is sounding perfect now. No more noise. And that's it. Everything should be good. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.